Hello again, I'm back with another tutorial, or I guess just watch me do makeup over my shoulder, if that probably makes a little bit more sense. Everyone seemed to enjoy the longer, less cut type of a video and found it quite relaxing, so I wanted to give you guys some more relaxation watching me apply makeup. So we've got a special guest, this is Claire. She has an amazing Instagram and TikTok. I'll link her on in my description box. She came over and we wanted to shoot some looks, and we actually did 2 looks. So if you like this one and you want to see the next one, let me know. So let's jump straight into what I'm doing. I started off by cleansing her skin with the Bioderma Micellar water, and then you saw me apply the photography fluid by Hylamide, which sadly has been discontinued, but a very good alternative to that would be the one that Neod does, which is by Decium. They're all by the same brand, and it contains a lot of photo filters in it, and it can really kind of blur the skin, and it looks really beautiful underneath the foundation. This video here we filmed to show on TikTok actually, and it was to show the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation. So this is a try-on for that. So this is products that I like to use underneath that formula of foundation. Now, I'm not going to get too ingredient heavy on my YouTube channel. I do a lot of that on my TikTok, and I'm also going to be offering more in-depth tutorials via my website for people who really want to get nitty-gritty with combinations and what foundations and what formulas work best with everything. But on here, I really just want to kind of show everyone what I'm doing, join me along the process when I apply makeup. You saw me use the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder. I really like to apply that with my finger underneath foundation, and right now I'm color matching. So this is where I like to color match on someone. It also depends what they're wearing, but on the neck or on the chest. And you can see that this shade is Deauville, and it's a pretty perfect match. I am lying actually. I did mix a little bit of a white color corrector in, just slightly, just to get it perfect. But I mean, I could have used the shade by itself, but I'm just a bit of a stickler for a foundation that matches a neck perfectly. Application here, I really like this foundation applied with a brush to kind of blend it in with a sponge. I just feel when you use a brush, it can actually separate on the skin and look a little funky. And when I use a sponge and a brush, I'm not absorbing too much of the product into the sponge, and that way I'm not wasting any product, but I'm also getting quite a smooth finish. There was a little bit of separation on the nose, so I do go in and pounce the sponge over that area quite a few times to get it as smooth as possible. I'm going to leave the rest of the foundation application in real time for everyone to watch. Now feel free to skip ahead if you don't want to watch this, but I do find it quite helpful to see how long you do spend blending foundation and what kind of small layers and slowly building up actually means. It doesn't just happen super quickly. If you do enjoy these clips being left longer and left in whole, please make sure you like the video and leave a comment down below letting me know that you do like it left in full, and that way I'll continue to keep these longer clips in. Okay, let's talk about the eyeshadow look that we did on Claire. Lots of people have asked me what I use, so I'm going to break it down for everyone nice and slowly. You can see this little nubbin of a pencil, and that's because it's one of my favorites. It's the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil, and this is in the shade Limitless Brown. I use this a lot to actually map out my eye shape and to give some depth to a look. I feel like powdered eyeshadow can just be a little bit one-dimensional without anything underneath it. It also helps the eyeshadow grip. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Kohl pencil in Barbarella Brown, and I'm using that on the lash line to intensify the level of brown. This is the Retro palette by Natasha Denona, and I'm using that deep matte burgundy shade to buff into the outer corners. I'm using a very light, soft application here, and I'm going back in and slowly building up that very kind of beautiful burgundy shade. I really wanted to make this kind of monochromatic with her hair and with what she's wearing, which you'll see in the end. And these colors just look really beautiful on Claire's greeny hazel eyes. I've left a lot of this process in so you can see how long I go back and forth building up the color very slowly. My trick is here, you want to build it up as slowly as possible. I'm also doing underneath, and now I'm actually applying an even darker shade of Burgundy just on the lash line, going into the outer corner to add more depth to the overall look. I will also join this up underneath, and I'm not being super particular. Now I'm getting something that's even more bright burgundy, and this is from the Norvina Volume 4 palette. I do love these palettes. I own the blue one as well, I'm not sure what number that is. Now this shade I'm buffing between my tint and my shade. This is like the tone of the look. I like to think of eyeshadow when I'm doing this as like a tint, a tone, and a shade. The shade being the darkest and the tint being the lightest, especially when it's something in a more of a monochromatic style. So this is really giving me that color, and I'm buffing that in the middle between those lighter and darker shades to really give dimension to the eye. I'm also applying this color underneath the eye, 3/4 of the way across along, and I'm joining it up to the outer corner. I'm going to leave the remainder of this in so you can see how many times I go back and forth creating the opacity that I want. Okay, this is a pretty important step of any makeup. I like to clean up and add structure to the look. All of that eyeshadow work that we've just done is all kind of leading up to the structure of the eye, right? So the wrong structure, the wrong shape in the eye can either make an eye look downturned or just not visually flattering. So it's important to get this step right. I'm just using an eye cream. Now I wanted to add in some sparkle and some high shine dimension to this look to give it that really whimsical, soft feeling, especially in these tones. I don't normally use these colors. So this is a shimmer shade from a Beauty Bay Cool Neutrals palette, and I'm using my finger, obviously. And then I'm adding even more glitteriness to it, and that is using the Pat McGrath Mothership 5, I believe. Using all my fingers for this. I feel like these kind of shades always look better with fingers. Now I've mixed together a Kryolan TV paint stick and a Kryolan Dermacolor in like an orange and a peach, and I've customized it to Claire's skin tone to knock back any blue tones underneath the eye. This is a really thin layer. This is not a thick layer. This is how I like to underpaint. This is a soft way of underpainting. Sometimes underpainting can look quite hectic, but this is my first step in the concealer process. So a nice thin layer of this, and then on top of this, we'll go over with, here we go. This is the Huda Beauty, her new one, the Luminous Concealer. And I've pushed it into a sponge, and then I am applying it underneath. Now, what I like about my sponge is that I can crisp up my edges. So I can further define the shape that I previously outlined with my Q-tip and eye cream. And I can go back in now and really just fine tune the shape of the eye. Everything will look darker once you put concealer on. Once you color correct and do concealer, everything's going to look darker. So keep that in mind when doing eyeshadow, that once everything's cleaned up, everything will look a lot more intense. Okay, so time for bronzing and contouring. I'm doing a bronzer contour kind of in the same step. This is the Be Perfect Bronzer in the lighter shade, which is called Sand. If I'm wrong, it'll be in the description box below what I used. And I'm using an IT Cosmetics No. 7 brush to do this. Warming it up on the back of my hand, and then I'm placing it into her cheeks, forehead, nose, chin. If you want to bronze someone up, do not forget to do their neck. The tip I like to do is, if you obviously don't want to cover, if you're more fair, you don't want to cover your whole neck in a bronzer contour shade, but you still want to bronze and add some more depth to your skin. I mean, you may not, but in this particular case, I wanted to. So adding kind of like stripes down the side of the neck and then buffing those in will give the illusion that the neck is bronzed and contoured without adding a whole bunch of fake tan to the neck area. So that's what you can see me doing here, and then applying and then going in with my sponge that still has some of the foundation and concealer on it to blend it all together. This is the best way to create that effortless, even though it takes 20 minutes, bronze effect to the skin. Blush time. This is a mixture of the Melt blushes. No idea what they are off the top of my head. I'll mention them down below. And I'm using this on a brush. This is one from Jacqueline Hill, I believe. And this is then getting stippled on top of the matching beautifully to the eyeshadow that we've previously done. I softly go in with this to start with and see how it looks, and then I start to slowly build up in areas where I want more blush. This is the Shiwamura lash curler. I always curl lashes even before I do individual lashes. And this is the Givenchy powder. This is the pink toned powder, and I'm warming it up in the back of my hand, and I'm starting at the bottom of the face and I'm working my way up and out. I want the least amount of powder to be in the center of the face. So I'll do all of the main areas like the T-zone, and then with what's left, I'll use that to set and to smooth underneath the eyes. Using a powder puff is the best way I find to do this. Sometimes a brush can be disturbing if the foundation hasn't had time to set specifically. A brush with powder can look like pouring water on top of flour. Okay, so my favorite part of a makeup is lashes. I think lashes are more important than brows. Let me know if you agree. But people look in your eyes, they're not looking at your brows, right? So lashes are gonna be huge. These are individuals that I'm using, and they're actually my babies. I've spent a lot of time customizing individual lashes to create a pack that works on most eye shapes, and they'll be available for purchase soon. So give my Instagram a follow if you want to keep up to date with that. This is a final step I like to do with a foundation. I like to grab a bronzery contourer shade. This is the Fenty Beauty in the shade, the lightest shade, whatever that is. And I'm using that to go through the nose, add some contour, then around the eyes, making sure that blend is perfect, bringing it up into the temples, and this will finish off the look perfectly. The same thing with blush. I always like to apply a powder blush on top of a liquid or cream brush that I've already used. And this is the It Cosmetics blush. And now we're going in for more blush. And this is the Doll Beauty blush. It's this really bright, intense shade. Like, this is the smallest amount of this goes the longest way, the furthest. And I'm using this to blend and to add a lot more pink to the skin. So I'm using it through the eye a little bit. I'm going up into the temples. I'm going across the nose. And this will add the most beautiful wash of pink that's going to work beautifully with her eye. This is an Ofra highlight. The palette has been wrecked. This is one of the surviving shades. It's a pink shade, and I'm using that on her cheekbones, on top of her Cupid's bow. And then I'll be finishing off this look with a glossy lip. And there we go. There is the most beautiful pink vibe on the beautiful Claire. If you have enjoyed this, please leave me a like, give me a comment, subscribe. And if you're looking for more of me, give my Instagram a follow. I do a lot more education there, and I've got some more in-depth tutorial videos that will be launching on my website soon as well, for those of you who want more ingredient-based, focused combinations and what ingredients are doing in your products, in your skincare, in your makeup. And if not, I'll hopefully see you the next time I upload a YouTube video. Feel free to ask any questions down below.